or you want to like pull the pay principle? You want them to pay for clearing the river? What is your plan? To shut it completely or to pay the compensation?
The council agrees with the sustainable principle, right? The council seeks for a remedy of temporary closure until the river regeneration project has to be carried out, and the detailed prayers will be dealt with. I may go on some motions.
Just for the rejuvenation of the river, then how do you do that?
Sir, this is my sorry, can I hear?
See, you are, on the one hand, you are challenging the GO, which suggests some kind of rejuvenation of the river, right? You are challenging, or you are trying to quash that. You are seeking a prayer for that. Now you are saying that the rejuvenation project has to take place till that time we have to close it. Temporarily.
Much Dr. George. The GO is challenging here because there is no cessation of the operation of the manufacturing process. Here also the council for the petition applicant says that temporary closure until the river regeneration has happened, and also the industry should follow the prescribed standards. But the GO has not addressed anything about that. That's why the GO is made.
About the contents of the Moot proposition is silent. About
But if you ask for temporary closure, you are people-centric, right? Do you also understand that the people who are working in the company are tribal in that area? Will their livelihood not be affected if the company is closed?
The livelihood of the people will be affected, but it is a temporary it is a temporary.
Temporarily they can suffer, is it?
It is, and the Moot proposition also says that agriculture and animal husbandry was the primary occupation. They have alternative occupations for the temporary time being.
We have asked, brother, we have asked too many questions. Let her co-counsel and yes.
Much obvious questions. Petitioner has both focused standing and legitimate grounds to approach the Honorable Supreme Court and also challenge the orders passed by the East Province and make the industry liable for their action. Much obviously, now I call upon the co-counsel to give the detailed arguments of issue 3 and much obvious. It was a very honor, it was an honor appearing before this court. Thank you.
Please the bench. The council takes function number. Warm greetings to the bench. The council is aware of the presence of your ladyship. For the convenience of the council would like to collectively address the bench of lordship. I have obliged your lordship. This is council number 2 appearing on behalf of the petitioner, where the council number 2 will be dealing with the issue number 3 and issue number 4 and conclude the arguments with the prayer, your lordship. Your lordship, issue number 3 deals with the healthy air, clean environment and clean water is a right under Article 21, and the issue number 4 deals with the infringement of indigenous community rights by the industry. Your lordship, the council takes permission to go on to the issue number 3 subcouncil. I will oblige your lordship. Your lordship, it is a fundamental, as per Article 21, Article 3 is protection of life and personal liberty, your lordship, but the right to clean environment is a fundamental right which has been guaranteed by under the Article 21, which has also been affirmed by the Honorable Supreme Court in various cases, your lordship. Your lordship, where the word life is not being defined in any of the legislations of the laws of the India, your lordship. But the term life is being defined by the case law of Francis Corelli vs. Delhi. Citation is process. But the order passed by the State Pollution Control Board does not seek the total relief that is being sought by the petitioners. Your Lordship, the industry.
What is the total relief that you are seeking?
Indeed, yes, Your Lordship, in this instant case, it is evident that the industry is being polluting the environment. The river water is being polluted by the industry, Your Lordship. So, Your Lordship, the order passed here does not state any of the does not. Your Lordship, the rejuvenation process has been policy is being proposed to the industry, Your Lordship. But the polluter, as per the polluter's pay principle, the industry is not totally liable for the pollution cost, Your Lordship. Who is residing there, that taxpayers will also be contributing for the rejuvenation of the river, Your Lordship. The person, one person is polluting.
Sorry.
Your Lordship.
You are arguing third. That which issue?
Third issue, Your Lordship.
Can you read the third issue?
Indeed, yes, Your Lordship. Whether the right to healthy air, clean environment is a fundamental right under Article 21.
So, what's your submission?
Your Lordship.
Bring it briefly.
Indeed, yes, Your Lordship.
You are going, I can't follow your Google map from here to here, here to here.
Indeed, yes, Your Lordship.
Restrict your thing to the brief.
Indeed, yes, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, Article 21 guarantees the right to healthier environment, Your Lordship. In considering the healthier environment, the word life must be dealt with the quality of the life, Your Lordship. For every human being, the life is measured with the quality, Your Lordship, where the quality includes a healthier environment, Your Lordship. As per the case of CERC versus Union of India, AIR 1995, SC 922, clearly explains the qualitative concept of Article 21, which includes the healthier environment, Your Lordship. And the environment has already been put, Your Lordship, which will be further dealt with the fourth issue, Your Lordship. Indeed, yes, Your Lordship.
I think one of the applications is with regards to the inhuman conditions of the person. Why is it that you have not raised any specific issue in this regard?
Your Lordship, inhuman conditions in the industry, the person who is employed in the industry, Your Lordship.
Are they not people of your province?
Indeed, yes, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, the issues raised here are by the Honorable Supreme Court, Your Lordship.
See, the court has given you liberty to raise relevant issues. The liberty is given to you and it is very much available in the factual matrix.
Indeed, yes, Your Lordship.
Why is it?
As part of Article 21, in the environmental aspect, the important doctrine is the doctrine of sustainable development, Your Lordship, which has been accepted by the Indian Constitution, Your Lordship. Where in implementing the doctrine of sustainable development in this instant case, the industry is being established, Your Lordship. The consent are being given to the industry for establishment and operation, but the industry has been operated beyond the legislative concerns, Your Lordship. The legislature or the environmental legislation has been prescribed certain limits for discharging the effluents in both water and air, Your Lordship. In this instant case, the air quality index in the East Province is beyond 500, Your Lordship, which has been evident from the Moot proposition. So, Your Lordship, it is very much evident that after the establishment of the industry, the air quality index has been raised to 500, Your Lordship. So, and further, Your Lordship, there is a long complaint from the residents of the East Province, Your Lordship, stating that the air quality index is totally being affected by the industry, Your Lordship, for which, Your Lordship, the government has been stated that this is due to the Diwali celebration, Your Lordship. But, Your Lordship, the measuring of the air quality index, Your Lordship, the procedure involved in the measuring of air quality index is not one-day report, Your Lordship. It is a recording of every day, like a weather report, Your Lordship. Each and every day, the chemical which is in more quantity is being recorded by the state government, Your Lordship. Instant alone cannot be considered as pollution where the persistent chemicals are being in the environment, Your Lordship, which is and further, Your Lordship, as per the doctrine of public trust, Your Lordship. It is also accepted doctrine under Article 21, Your Lordship, where this doctrine clearly states the public trust on the industry is being totally violated.
See, please be very careful. When you talk about public interest litigation, that public interest, this public trust doctrine,
Indeed, yes, Your Lordship.
only one thing is that is, people are the owner,
Indeed, yes, Your Lordship.
state is the trustee. The court was very clear in Reliance petrochemical cases versus industry, Reliance petrochemical industry. So you should be very, when you use a doctrine, please be very careful, because you are dealing both under the international law as well as the constitutional law. General Assembly Resolution 50 General Assembly Resolution 3281 all gives state sovereignty to explore and exploit. But what is the limit? That's what the main question within this problem. Please understand. So when these rectification acts were taken up, because state is concentrating about the economic development. So within these features, please stand within this and put forth your arguments.
Yes, Your Lordship, as the state government has been taken the process of rejuvenation of the river here, Your Lordship, but it does not control the discharge done by the industries here, Your Lordship. Only the rejuvenation process of the river is being carried out by the state, but the discharge of the excess beyond the prescribed level by the industry is not being controlled here, Your Lordship. So, and further, Your
After
Lordship,
implementing a project, how can you come up with such a statement? Because the moment they issue the GO, you are challenging it. They have not given an opportunity for the government to implement it. Without implementing the project, how can you take a stand that they will not stop the discharge? Are you aware? Have you seen the working of the GO or have you seen the working of the project?
it is no, Your Lordship, but in this instant case, Your Lordship, the GO did not pass any concern regarding the operation of the industry.
You are arguing on assumptions.
It is no, Your Lordship. There is no bar on the operation of the manufacturing process in the industry here, Your Lordship. There is no concerns regarding the manufacturing process which has been dealt in the GO here. It simply says they can continue the manufacturing process, but the policies of the river rejuvenation process has been recommended here, Your Lordship.
You agitated when the industry was brought in. Did any of you agitate for establishing the industry? Was any agitation or protest being done by the people?
Indeed,
or
no,
the
Your
watchers?
Lordship. Indeed, no, Your Lordship.
When any fact check was done?
Indeed, no, Your Lordship. The fact is silent also regarding protest or the objection made by the external Your Lordship.
Therefore, without implementing the GO, how do you expect the government to reveal everything? Because now it has given a rejuvenation project. Without an implementation of the project, without seeing what they are going to do, you have just rushed to the court
Your Lordship.
based on your assumptions and beliefs.
Indeed, no, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, the government has also funded for the construction of dam here, Your Lordship. Already the river is being polluted here and the discharge is going to be continued by the industry here and the manufacturing process is also being continued here. When the construction of the dam has been granted here, the fresh water that is to be stored in the dam will also be affected by the polluted water from the river here, Your Lordship. So this is a serious issue that is being considered by the Council of Petitioners here, Your Lordship.
Straight question.
Indeed, yes, Your
Your
Lordship.
third issue is about clean air and clean water, right?
Indeed, yes, Your Lordship.
If you read the problem,
Indeed, yes, Your Lordship.
they are going to regenerate the river, they are going to get a clean water.
Indeed, yes, Your Lordship.
But where is the issue?
Your Lordship, but the man.
For a moment we agreed that even under Article 51, clean air, clean water, let it be within the purview of Article 21. But if there is no GO, there is no effort from the government or the industry side to clean the water, then you can say that we are entitled to get the clean water, potable water. They are taking all the efforts. What is the issue?
Your Lordship, but the discharge on behalf of the industry is not being controlled here, Your Lordship. Manufacturing process is not being stopped here, Your Lordship.
It's a previous issue. Council, please understand. Whatever has happened, what will happen to it? What is the current thing? The government has passed a GO for cleaning the water.
Indeed, yes, Your Lordship.
When that process is going to happen, your issue will be solved.
Your Lordship.
You get a clean water
Indeed, yes, Your Lordship. Your
and
Lordship.
clean air.
Your Lordship, this issue is not only concerned with the water pollution, Your Lordship. This is
My
also concerned
senior judge question is very clear.
Indeed, yes, Your Lordship.
Before they act on something, before you wait and see how the government is doing their job, and you are just jumping and coming before this court and desk without basically you are raising this issue. That is what the question.
Your Lordship, in this instant case, Your Lordship, the third issue does not deal with the pollution and the rejuvenation process and water pollution alone, Your Lordship. It includes the air pollution also, Your Lordship, where the report filed by the government clearly states that this is due to the Diwali celebration and the government has instructed the people to wear masks, Your Lordship. The air quality submitted that the Article 21 includes the right to healthy air, clean water and healthy environment. I have applied.
What I want to ask you another question. Readings you have stated, your readings you have stated that several members of the tribe, mostly men, were employed in this.
Yes, Your Lordship.
Now, does that not mean as a concern? Does that not mean as a concern? You are not objected for the establishment of the factory establishment.
Yes, Your Lordship.
So, how could you now complain that they are discharging influence into the river and all this?
Your Lordship, the discharging of the effluents is evident here, Your Lordship, as Moot proposition clearly states that the chemicals from the industry is being discharged to the river of Indus, Your Lordship. So, Your Lordship, in this instant case, the employment is considered regarding this. And for Your Lordship, the facts are very much silent during the establishment of the industry. There was no objections or regarding the objections of the establishment here, Your Lordship.
Consent of the plaintiff is one of the exceptions to the rule of strict liability.
Yes, Your Lordship.
So, when you yourself have consent, how could you now object?
Your Lordship, the concern is given for the employment, Your Lordship, in order to the development, economical and social development of the Kalleri tribe, Your Lordship. But this concern cannot be amount to the pollution of the environment, Your Lordship. Where in this instant case, the industry is being polluting the environment, Your Lordship.
Can you expect an industry without pollution?
Your Lordship, we did know, Your Lordship, but industry has been discharging the effluent beyond the prescribed limits, Your Lordship.
That is the yardstick you are teaching. That is the yardstick.
Your Lordship, the council will seek the help of the researcher for the yardstick, Your Lordship.
Right, anyhow.
We have limited time. Let us move on to the last issue.
Highly obliged. Your Lordship, the fourth issue deals with the indigenous community rights that has been violated by the industry here. Your Lordship, the first violation is the right to fair wages here. As per the Minimum Wages Act 1948, Section 3 Clause 1, clearly states that employer must pay at least the minimum wages fixed by the government here. In this instant case, Your Lordship, the proposition is evidence that the minimum wages, the wages paid for the employed persons are the low wages here. And as per the Article 23 in the case law, considering the Article 23 in the case law, it is clearly stated that discharging for 1990, the citation is AIR 1990 SC 1411, states that delayed or unpaid wages can be considered to forced labor here. And further, Your Lordship, it is clearly stated from the proposition that the employer, not even the minimum wages has been paid to the employees here.
Why don't you go before the Industry Tribunal Court?
Your Lordship, it
You
is
have the Industrial Disputes Act to deal with
Yes,
all
Your
this.
Lordship.
Why do you come to a writ application that too by way of public interest litigation?
Your Lordship, there is a violation of fundamental right here, Your Lordship.
So who is the aggrieved party?
Your Lordship, the Kalleri tribe are the aggrieved party here, Your Lordship. The
Who is
person,
representing the tribe?
Your Lordship, Mr. Karikalan and environmentalist, Your Lordship.
Is he a part of the tribe?
Your Lordship, the facts are silent on it, Your Lordship. He is an environmentalist who has been approached the Honorable Supreme Court, Your Lordship.
You have an alternate application remedy available to you.
Indeed, yes, Your Lordship, but Your Lordship, the industry has been established in the year 2015, 2025. The intermediary actions taken on behalf of the Kalleri tribe or the environmentalist is totally silent here, Your Lordship. So it cannot be pursued by the council here, Your Lordship. And further, Your Lordship, in this instant case, there is a violation of fundamental rights also here, Your Lordship. So the public interest litigation has been filed with the Honorable Supreme Court, Your Lordship.
Council, you are talking about this. These people belongs to indigenous,
Indeed, yes, Your Lordship.
right?
Indeed, yes, Your Lordship.
Do you remember any conventions which is guaranteeing the minimum wages with respect to these indigenous people? There's a special convention was made by the ILO. That is 169, I think so.
Indeed, yes, Your Lordship.
What it says? So if you are not done for the because time please carry on.
Therefore, Your Lordship, it is evident that it is being, therefore, Your Lordship, it is evident that the minimum wages for the employees who have been employed is not being paid here. And further, as per the violation of the just in human conditions, Your Lordship. Article 21 includes the right of human life, right to protection of life and liberty, where it includes the human dignity and human conditions, Your Lordship, in order to undergo health care, Your Lordship.
Any special legislations are there
Your Lordship,
with respect to
human
protection of the
conditions.
right of this minimum wages or this DGS?
Your Lordship,
Any special legislations
the
are
council is unaware about it.
Please help.
And your pleasure, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, as per the Factories Act 1948, Section 51 clearly states limits working hours to 9 hours a day and 48 hours a week, Your Lordship. This instant is the proposition clearly states that they have been toiled for several hours of work in a day, Your Lordship. So it is evident that working hours have also not been regulated by the industry, Your Lordship.
You madly say that. However, they were unable to survive as the working conditions were inhuman and the workers were left to soil for several hours a day. You have not spelled out the hardships that the workers are undergoing. Without that, how do you expect us to understand what is the real reality? Your pleadings are not something so far as the hardship is concerned.
Your Lordship,
Several hours per day.
Your Lordship, Article 21 clearly guarantees the right to human dignity and human conditions,
But
Your
have
Lordship.
you spelled out the hardships, mitigating circumstances which the employees are undergoing? You have not spelled out that, have you?
Your Lordship, the employed from the establishment of the industry, Your Lordship, which is from 2015 to 2025 till the date, Your Lordship. Only after undergoing all these conditions, only the bill is being filed, Your Lordship. Still now, there is no relief that has been granted to the employees who have been employed, Your Lordship. And further, Your Lordship, as per the Article 21, Your Lordship, the Council seeks 2 more minutes to sum up the issue. Highly obliged, Your Lordship. So, as per the Article 21, considering the human conditions, Your Lordship, where the human conditions are totally being violated by the industry, Your Lordship. And further, Your Lordship, as per the case of Sanjit Rai versus State of Rajasthan, it is clearly stated that according to
say that it is a general meeting.
Your Lordship, the council is contending that it is a general GO because it does not particularly tell that this industry has caused the pollution, so we are producing a GO to regionalize this problem.
See, whether you have conducted any environmental or social impact assessment before granting permission, before whether you have conducted any environmental impact assessment or social impact assessment, because the problem is very closely associated with this. Indeed, you are the state, you have to, it is your obligation, you are only the trustee. The ownership is with the people, so they have to enjoy clean air, clean water, everything.
Indeed, Your Lordship, when giving the consent to operate and consent to establish the industry, it is a document that is being required for giving the consent to operate and consent to establish. In that document, it is one is that is the environmental clearance that is being also implied as the consent to operate is given by the state pollution control. And there are so many documents that are being required. So, as the consent to operate is being given by the state pollution control board, it is implied that the things are being done by the state pollution control board. Much obliged. Your Lordship, when coming to the contention number 2, that is compliance with the air and water quality standards. Your Lordship, when an environmental allegation is being kept before any court, there should be a substantial evidence or something for the court to make the party liable for the environmental pollution. The council would like the attention of the bench to refer to see a case of Ahmed Municipal Corporation versus GPL Infrastructure Limited. The respondents have been building mobile towers in their places in a particular region, and the petitioners have been claiming that this building of mobile towers is going to cause hazardous effects to the residents. But the court rejected this allegation on the basis that there is no scientific evidence to prove it. So there should be scientific evidence in order to make an allegation before the court.
And all these scientific evidence, everything was settled in the understanding from the compromise. Moot compromise has settled all these issues, and based on that observation, they have built the issues. So scientific documents was produced, and the state has came with certain things, and they accepted that there is a pollution, and we are coming with the plan as a state. We are coming with the plan to take away all these hazardous things, and we want to give clean water, clean air, everything. That was a settled issue, right?
Your Lordship, referring to the Moot proposition para 9, the other foundations that the NGO has filed a complaint to the State Pollution Control Board on the allegation that the industry is discharging. Indeed, Your Lordship. And here also, Your Lordship, the residents are only alleged after the the council accepts the fact that the air quality index is being above 500.
That is the scientific thing. Scientific data. Based on
Your Lordship,
scientific data only, government came with the conclusion that there is air pollution. So, for the purpose of saving your life, you wear the mask. Maybe time will be taken, we will do everything needful. As an instant case, you have to wear the mask.
Your Lordship, contending to the point Your Lordship asked, the question asked, there are certain criteria for the scientific evidence for the air quality index, Your Lordship. That is such as the impurities that are present, such as the SO2.
You mean to say that your own board, pollution control board, they don't apply these scientific methods to assess the quality of the air or the quality of the water?
Your Lordship, the council is not contending on that point, Your Lordship. The council is stating that in this particular Moot para, it is only stated that the air quality index is above 500. But it does not state that the industry has, because of the industry, the air quality index has been increased to 500. Indeed.
Your Lordship, this is the 21st century, Your Lordship, where modernization and industrialization is taking rapid change. So the people here could be using insecticides and pesticides for agriculture and animal husbandry purposes, Your Lordship. Your Lordship? Indeed not, Your Lordship. This, because of this air quality index increase, this can also be a reason where the people are burning wood in the particular, as they are traditionally following a particular practice. So they are, as they practice a particular practice, the burning of wood can also cause the increase in air quality index, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, it is also clearly stated in the Moot para that this particular region is not commercially exploited, Your Lordship. So the council could presume that
gas cylinder and commercial exploitation. Yeah, can't follow your argument. Yeah. Lordship has asked. Nowadays, anyhow, carry on. Please.
indeed, Your Lordship. So, Lordship, this industry has started its functioning in the year 2014, and the complaint is being registered in the year 2024. So, the doctrine of latches should be applied here, Lordship. In the case of Prasanna Hari Jamaica versus State of Tripura, the elements of the doctrine of lapse has the criteria and elements of doctrine of lapse has been applied here, Lordship, where it stated 4 rules. One is the unreasonable lapse of time, and the negligence in asserting a claim or a right, and to detain, which is determined to earn another, Your Lordship. So, when these unreasonable time, where the case has been filed after a very long time of 10 years. Your Lordship? Indeed, Your Lordship. But, Your Lordship, the cause of action actually occurred in the year 2014. Your Lordship, the question is not just whether the environment is polluted or not, but also that the allegations are that the Grama Sabha approval is also not got. So this occurred in the year 2014.
Another track. So company is polluting and you are coming with certain policies. Whether it was successful, because if you go through the act, that is the industry has to take own steps to maintain all these things without they have to reduce the pollution, etc., etc., etc. So, whether you for that only you have inspected whether the company has followed, industry has followed or not.
And the concerns of the petitioners is that you have one hand you are allowing the factory to continue its production, and you are suggesting some rejuvenation method, and they want the production to be stopped. Do you agree that the company should stop temporarily at least the production?
Your Lordship, this particular question will be dealt by my co-counsel, Your Lordship. Indeed, Your Lordship, with due permission of the bench, the council would like to move on to the issue number 2, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, issue number 2 is whether the order dated 16/12/2024 challenged by the Agam Foundations is maintainable or not, Your Lordship. The National Green Tribunal, which is established under Section 3 of the National Green Tribunal Act 2010, has a purpose of enforcing all the legal rights of the environment, Your Lordship. So, Your Lordship, under section of the NGT Act, the tribunal has the jurisdiction of all the civil cases where a substantial question relating to the environment is being brought upon, which has also been said in the schedule number 1. So, Your Lordship, the NGT holds the jurisdiction to settle these disputes and pass order where applying the question of law on the environment. Your Lordship, according to this issue,
Even the final orders of the NGT is being reviewed by the Supreme Court, right?
Your Lordship, the
We
council
are the
is
supreme authority.
indeed, Your Lordship, the council is not contending that instead of going to the NGT, the petitioners should have approached an appellate authority under this in this issue. So that is what the council is contending, Your
Who is
Lordship.
the appellate authority?
Your Lordship,
Who is the appellate authority?
Your Lordship,
you
this
mean?
is the state or the state appointed person, right?
Indeed, Your Lordship.
Right. You are the state. What did you do?
Your Lordship, the petitioners have directly approached the NGT, Your Lordship, in this particular case and have not approached the appellate authority.
No, facts is differently. Agreeing by the order of the
Indeed, Your Lordship,
Pollution Control Board, they gone.
to the
The
NGT.
final order of the Pollution Control Board.
Indeed, Your Lordship, that is to the NGT, Your Lordship.
Yes.
Above State Pollution Control Board, that is an appellate authority under Section 2.
They have gone there.
Indeed not, Your Lordship, but the facts clearly state that they have gone to the NGT directly.
Yeah. No. Is it?
Indeed, Your Lordship.
Oh, right. Okay. Carry on.
Let me ask you this. I mean, when their right to life itself is a threat, then why don't they do have a right to come to this court, right?
NGT, Your Lordship.
To this court.
Indeed, Your Lordship, but the council is just contending that Your Lordship, the council is not contending that whether the Supreme Court has the authority over NGT or not. But the council is just contending that instead of going to NGT, there is an alternative remedy, which is the appellate authority under the same Water Act and NGT
We
Act.
want to say that alternate remedy is an absolute bar for the Supreme Court to entertain the petition. Supreme Court ceases to have jurisdiction to entertain the matter because there is an alternate remedy. Is it an absolute bar? Please clarify.
Your Lordship, can you please repeat the question? Your Lordship, the council is just contending that the NGT does not have the jurisdiction over this particular issue, Your Lordship. Indeed, Your Lordship. So, Your Lordship, under Section 17 of which states about the functions of the State Board, under Section 17B, it has the power to advise the state government on any matters concerning the prevention, control or abatement of the water pollution, Your Lordship. So, there is always a need to balance the economic growth of the country and limit the environmental pollution, Your Lordship. So, Your Lordship, there is an appellate authority that exists under Section 28 of the Water Act 1974. So, Your Lordship, under Section 27 Clause 2 of the Water Act, it reads that a state board may from time to time review the refusal of a consent referring to subsection 1 of the Section 25 or 26 or the grant of consent and make such order as it may deem fit, Your Lordship. So, the State Pollution Control Board had provided the industry with an NOC that allowed the industry to operate further. And the NOC was issued under Section 25 Clause 2 by the State Board recording its consent as the operation. The Council concludes with this issue that the NGT does not have the jurisdiction over this issue and the order passed under in 16/12/2024 is not maintainable, Your Lordship. So, if the bench is satisfied, the Council would like to call my co-counsel for continuing the arguments with issue number 3 and 4. It was an honor to argue before this court.
Used to say my co-counsel will answer. You can start with the answer.
Highly obliged, Your Lordship. So here, Your Lordship, this council is going to represent on the issue number 3, Your Lordship, that is whether the right to healthy air, clean water and pollution-free environment is a fundamental right under Article 21, Your Lordship. As the Honorable Supreme Court has put forth.
Whom are you representing?
Your Lordship, we are representing for the Sparrow Pulp paper industry as well as for the state, Your Lordship.
As well as the state.
Highly obliged, Your Lordship. So here, as the Honorable Supreme Court has put forth the question to my co-counsel that whether the industry is the sole polluter to that which has been contributing towards the air pollution. So here, this council is humbly contending it, Your Lordship, because it is very clear, which has been stating that para number 10, it states that the State Pollution Control Board, after entering and inspecting the river, has concerned that there is a pollution being there, and also it has stated that the untreated sewages and also solid waste are contributing towards the poor river banks, Your Lordship. That is not only which is not only being the sole authority which is being done by the industry, Your Lordship, whereas here this amounts to other contributing towards pollution. So here, Your Lordship, it is being stated that the traditional methods of agriculture could also cause pollutions to the environment, Your Lordship. That is, whether the traditional method as well as the modern methods are causing, Your Lordship. So here in traditional method, staple form of agriculture could cause air pollutions, Your Lordship, which is striking high and which could also infringe the life of the people, Your Lordship. And at the same time, in the modern form of agriculture, that is the using of fertilizers and pesticides, and which has been let out into the rivers, can also contaminate the river, Your Lordship.
It's also contaminating, but what is the quantity of contamination?
Your Lordship.
Compared with the industrial effluents.
Whether the problem says that because of the cultivation they use the fertilizer.
Indeed not, Your Lordship. So here,
Does the Moot problem say so? Because of the modern cultivation they use the fertilizer. Your point is that the river is polluted even because of this, right?
highly obliged, Your
Is
Lordship.
it there in the problem?
Yeah, Your Lordship, para number 3 of the Moot proposition states that the primary occupation of the people is agriculture and animal husbandry, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, here,
But what is the point that they use modern this thing and they used
indeed not, Your Lordship. So, the council is just segregating and showing to enlightening the court that here agriculture can also cause the pollutions, Your Lordship. So here this industry is not the sole
How
proprietor.
can agricultural cause pollution? I don't know. It's a river and they do cultivation in a land, for example, paddy land.
Indeed,
Where
yes, Your
is the
Lordship.
point of polluting the river by cultivation? There is no logic.
Your Lordship, the council will be proving it in the further arguments, Your Lordship. Highly obliged, Your Lordship. So here that it is, even though the right to life is being incorporated as incorporates right to clean and healthy environment as a fundamental right, Your Lordship, it is not absolute in nature. As because here here it states that as it provides under Article 21, no person shall be deprived of his life and personal liberty except according to the procedures established by law, Your Lordship. So here it states that there must be a balance between economic growth as well as to the environmental sustainability, Your Lordship. So here one of the restriction being enumerated by the State Pollution Control Board is that under section 17 subsection 1 clause K and clause M of the Water Prevention and Control of Pollutions Act, Your Lordship, it clearly states the proviso which lays down that the standard treatments of waste which is being discharged into a particular stream or a well, and also which is directly been related towards section 25, Your Lordship, it is stating that no person without the prior consent of the state board shall establish any treatment or disposal systems which would likely cause discharging of waste in. Pardon, Your Lordship? Indeed, yes, Your Lordship. Indeed not, Your Lordship. So here indeed yes, here Your Lordship, the council would like to state a compendium before the court for the perusal of the court, Your Lordship. That is stating about the process being done by this particular industry, Your Lordship, which has been stated in para number 6 and 7, Your Lordship. It is stating that the particular industry is also been using, that is chlorine dioxide bleaching as well as oxygen delignification process, Your Lordship. Here, indeed not, Your Lordship. Here,
whether a copy was furnished to your friends on the other side.
indeed not, Your Lordship.
Whether we can take notice of this article that is written, how is it binding on us? And whether any pleading is raised with regard to the methods that are being followed.
Apologies, Your Lordship. So here the council would produce another document for the perusal of the court regarding the bleaching process being done, Your Lordship. Pardon, Your Lordship? Your Lordship, it is stating about the bleaching process being taken place in that industry, Your Lordship. Indeed, yes, Your
It is
Lordship.
not
So
your
here,
company. This is not the process of your company. It is
indeed
of
not, Your Lordship. It is generalized thing which is being used by all the paper and paper industries, Your Lordship.
No, we cannot go by any general concept, madam.
Indeed, yes, Your Lordship, but here the Moot preposition, directing the court to the Moot preposition that the chlorine dioxide and as well as bleaching, as well as the oxygen delignification process is being used, Your Lordship. So here the oxygen delignification process reduces the emission of aerosol in the particular aerosol in the air, Your Lordship. So here, which has been generally produced by any of the paper mill which has been producing the which is being manufacturing the paper industries, Your Lordship. So here this method is being used by our sparrow pulp and paper industry in order as a sustainable thing for the environment protection, Your Lordship. And furthermore, Your Lordship, the council would like to state that the norm, that is the NOC which is being produced by the state.
Now, a regeneration process has been
Indeed, yes, sir.
recommended, right? Now, what you say that you have some chloride treatment or whatever, in spite of that, the waste is being discharged into the river, right? So, how far your water treatment measures will affect the river pollution?
Your Lordship, it has been stated that the solid waste is also being contaminating the poor quality of the water in that particular Mindus river, Your Lordship. So here this not only amounts that here the particular indigenous tribe people who are being situated over there, and the banks of the Mindus river is being a place where 15 gram sabhas is also being situated. Indeed not, Your Lordship. We are just following the standard. Indeed not, Your Lordship. Here the standard, the sparrow pulp paper industry is following the certain standards, prescribed norms as being given by the state.
In spite of all those, in spite of...
Indeed, yes, Your Lordship.
And that is the reason why they have come out with a regeneration project. What is your answer to that?
Indeed,
You're not
yes.
answering to that point, ma'am.
Indeed, yes, Your Lordship. So here the river regeneration project has been given by the State Pollution Control Board. It states that there is a pollution being contributed, Your Lordship, but whereas that Moot proposition itself states that the State Pollution Control Board, after inspecting the Mindus River, has recommended for the operation of the manufacturing industry, Sir, Your Lordship. So here it is amount to be dealt that the particular industry is not being contributing towards the pollutions, Your Lordship, whereas at the same time, Your Lordship, here the council would deal.
You say that you are not polluting.
Indeed not, Your Lordship. We are just following the prescribed norms being stated by the environmental standards, Your Lordship, which is dealt to be stated as under section 25 earlier stated, Your Lordship. So here the prescribed norms is being followed, Your Lordship, and also the NOC, that is the NOC, that is no objection certificate, is only produced by the State Pollution Control Board only if the particular industry is following the particular norms, that is like following of the discharge related matters and also compiling with every environmental norms only, this would be produced, Your Lordship. And moreover, here the NOC would be produced after the environmental clearance, Your Lordship, which is being given by the Ministry of Environment and Forest Climatic Change, as because this particular sparrow pulp paper industry is coming under the category of A, Your Lordship. So here after that process and all, here this NOC itself clearly states that after this all process is being done, this particular industry is being compiling, Your Lordship. So here, Your Lordship, the council would like to... 1 minute, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, the council would like to state the application form, Your Lordship, that is stating about the, as it has been parametric, this Moot proposition clearly states that this is being parametric towards the state of Tamil Nadu. So here the council would be stating upon the consent form which is being produced by this, Your Lordship. Here it is being stated under the Water Prevention Act, Your Lordship, it is clearly stating that generalized instruments, instructions that must be followed by the particular industry, that is, application must be complete in all respects and enclosure must be made in listed checks.
We are not disputing that you got all the approvals. The issue is here, it's not about approvals. The issue here is about the untreated effluents is exceeding the limit. We are not denying that you got all the approval. Yes, you got all the approval. Doesn't mean that you can do anything.
Indeed, yes, Your Lordship.
There is a report that the effluent is exceeding the limit, exceeding the permitted limit. So what is your answer for that? We don't deny that you got all the approvals. Now the issue is the river is polluted.
Indeed, yes, Your Lordship. Here the council would like to state one case, Your Lordship, that is which is being stated in the Moot proposition, Moot memorials also, Your Lordship, of the petition of the respondent council, is that page number 19 of the memorial, Your Lordship. That is Goa Foundation and others versus Konkan Railway Corporations, Your Lordship. Here it has been stated that no development is possible without the adverse effect of ecology or environment, Your Lordship. But here there must be a balance that must be struck down between the two interests, Your Lordship, that it is being exercised and it must be left to the persons who have been familiar with, Your Lordship.
But where do you strike the balance here? You only seem to be the person who is enriched because you are neither paying the proper wages to the laborers. You also end up polluting the environment. So what have you done to balance this?
Indeed, yes, Your Lordship. The council would be stating in the further arguments in the fourth issue relating to the question put forth to me, Your Lordship. So here, Your Lordship, relating to that of the sustainable developmental methods which is being followed, Your Lordship. So here, Sustainable Developmental Goal 9 states that building realization and also infrastructures promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization and fosters for the innovations, Your Lordship. So here, this must be taken into consideration, Your Lordship, that is, here when there is a developmental process being taken place, so here the Supreme Court has to enhance that right to life with the clean environment is also being under Article 21, and also Article 21 deals with the sustainable developmental norms, Your Lordship. So here there must be a balance being produced, Your Lordship. So here the council would also state to the principles which has been given by the Rio Declaration, Your Lordship, in the environmental development in 1992. Principle 1 states that humans are centered to be the concern for sustainable development, and also it has been enlightened that the healthy and procedure life of harmony should be maintained, Your Lordship. And furthermore, Principle 2 and Principle 15 and also Principle 17 deals with the same things related to similar to that of Your Lordship, and also here the right to development must be fulfilled in that an equitable level, that the development as well as the need for the environment should be of the present as well as the future generation must be maintained, Your Lordship. As I stated that the oxygen delignification process being used by this particular industry is reducing the pollutant emissions being presented by the sparrow pulp paper industry, Your Lordship. This is contributing towards the sustainable development only, Lordship, which is adhering to these principles. And furthermore, Your Lordship, it is also being stated in the
Council will take note of the fact that you are making submissions which are not at all explicitly stated in the propositions. That you are using oxygen so and so for a
sustainable.
sustainable.
Your Lordship. Here yes. The Moot proposition itself clearly deals with this process, Your Lordship, which has been enhanced in point number 7, Your Lordship, to the last lines, Your Lordship. While chlorine dioxide bleaching and oxygen delignification process is being used, Your Lordship.
Can you read it in full?
Indeed, yes, Your Lordship. So here the bleaching sequence is used, that is CEH and CEHH.
See, this is a general. Yes, it is a general expression of what the industry has to do and what is the process involved. It doesn't say that you are following all these things.
Indeed, yes, Your Lordship, but whereas in order to make manufacturing the sparrow pulp, like the papers and manufacturing things, we are also been using the recycled products, Your Lordship, that is the rice starch, jute sticks and also bamboos and waste papers, Your Lordship. And at the same time, Here, this is one among the process, that is oxygen delignification process, is one among the process which is being used in this by the sparrow pulp paper industry, Your Lordship. Here, Your Lordship, it is also been not expressly stated that the sparrow pulp industry is not been following with that of a particular norms, Your Lordship, that is the oxygen delignification process. Your Lordship, if the Lordships are satisfied, then the Council would conclude with the point of doctrine of proportionality to be taken into note, Your Lordship. That is a balance between...
Before that, appealing to the state, please tell us what steps have you taken in regard to the complaint of inhuman working conditions? Have you carried out any inspection? Have you inspected the site establishment? And what kind of inhuman working conditions did you see? Is there anything before us?
Indeed not, Your Lordship, but whereas this Council will be dealing it in the fourth issue is that whether the right of the indigenous communities are infringed by the industry or not, Your Lordship, is the particular issue being presented here. So, Your Lordship, here first of all, under Article 342 of the Constitution, which defines the process of identifying a scheduled tribe, Your Lordship, which is pertinent to be noted that the tribes are different from that of the scheduled tribes, which has also been enriched. Which has also been enriched in Balaraman versus... Shall I proceed, Council?
Yes. You pray. Come to your prayer.
Your Lordship, one important point.
We convince fully with your argument.
Highly obliged, Your Lordship. Wherefore, in the lights of issues raised, arguments advanced, and authorities cited, the respondent council may please before the Honorable Supreme Court to dismiss the petition and or pass any other order which may be deemed fit and in interest of justice, equity, good conscience, which the respondents would be duty bound forever, Your Lordship. Highly obliged, Your Lordship.
So, rebutter, please rebut it. Don't put any arguments. So, strict on to the time. Right, please.
Your Lordship, regarding the discharge of the effluents by the industry, Your Lordship, the Appellate Learned Council stated that they have been discharging within the permitted limit, Your Lordship. But the Moot clarification point number 21 clearly states that the industry is discharging beyond the permanent limit here, Your Lordship. And further, Your Lordship, as per the case of Orissa Mining Corporation Limited versus Ministry of Environment and Forest 2013, court ruling said that it has been upheld the rights under the Forest Rights Act 2006, and there must be a consultation with the local people, Grama Sabha and the local people here. This also enhanced the free, prior and informed consent principle in the case, Your Lordship, that this is totally been violated without the approval of the Grama Sabha before the establishment, Your Lordship. And further, Your Lordship, considering the environmental impact assessment, Your Lordship, where the third process of the environmental impact assessment includes the public consultation, Your Lordship, where the public consultation is also being totally absent and the respondent council did not defend on the same, Your Lordship. And further, Your Lordship, as per the Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board, the first GO passed by the Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board states the prohibition of establishment of industry within 1 kilometer, and second and the third order clearly states the prohibition of industry within 5 kilometers of a river here, Your Lordship, in Tamil Nadu, where it has been classified 14 industries to be prohibited within 5 kilometers, Your Lordship. And further, Your Lordship, Pollution Control Board also categorized paper and pulp industry as a hazardous industry under the categories of A and B. So, Your Lordship, it also bans the discharge of the effluents in the industry, Your Lordship. In this instant case, though the industry is located away 5 kilometers away from the river, but the discharge is being done by the industry in the river, Your Lordship, which is beyond the banned by the government order passed by the Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board, Your Lordship. These are the rebuttals on behalf of the petitioners, Your Lordship. It is an honor in arguing before this bench, Your Lordship. Highly obliged, Your Lordship.
Highly obliged, Your Lordship. As my co-counsel has stated that this particular industry, in the Moot preposition also, it has been clearly stated that it is being situated in above up to 5 kilometers, Your Lordship. So here, this industry is not being situated in 1 kilometer, which is been contributing towards the pollution, and also the NOC, that is the no objection certificate, will be only produced when they are compiling with the environmental norms, Your Lordship. So here it is evident that they are compiling with the environmental norms and standards, Your Lordship. And moreover, Your Lordship, the petitioners have also invoked the section 28 in the Water Act, Your Lordship, which has been deliberately failed to do so. Therefore, it has also been entirely stating on their arguments, which has been based, which is not admissible at all, Your Lordship. And furthermore, the stating about the livelihood of the people, that they have stated that the industry must be closed for a while, Your Lordship. That is to be contended, Your Lordship, as because they have stated that the agriculture is also a primary occupation that they can do when the industry is being closed. But whereas this industry is not only contributing towards the livelihood of that particular tribal people or which employees being situated, but whereas it is also contributing to various other sectors, Your Lordship, that is indirectly giving employments to other sectors also, like textile industries, paper mills and newspaper industries, packaging industries and various other industries, Your Lordship. So here the livelihood of the particular people is not to be taken, is also to be taken into note with that of the people which is being employed in other industries also, Your Lordship. And furthermore, Your Lordship, as here the Moot proposition also states that here there is low amount of wages being given, Your Lordship, but whereas adhering towards the norms of the Minimum Wages Act, it categorizes under section 4, it categorizes that skilled and unskilled labours and also semi-skilled labours, Your Lordship. So here, according to their skilled, unskilled and semi-skilled norms only, the minimum wages can be given, Your Lordship. So here it is also stated that they have never denied or they have never delayed for the payment of wages, but whereas the wages are low, as because they are the people who are not being commercially exploited, they can be termed to be as unskilled labours, Your Lordship. And furthermore, Your Lordship, here however there is an inhumane condition that is being taken, inhumane condition, but whereas they have been toiled to several hours is being to be taken into note, Your Lordship, as because here the word toil has been is to be taken into an interpretation under the labour laws, Your Lordship. Highly obliged, Your Lordship. So here this one contention alone I would just complete it, Your Lordship, as because they have stated that inhumane condition, but whereas toil is that time in lieu is being pertinent to be noted, Your Lordship. So here 1 hour of work if they are doing, then 1 hour of leave is also being granted to them. Here that is to be paid, Your Lordship. That is stating, Your Lordship. So here highly obliged, Your Lordship.